Israel is fighting and has the right to fight for its security. If the pressure was put on Hamas, things would stop. Hamas lay down their arms. This would be over.
When Hamas attacks, Hamas is attacking from civilian space. It operates from schools, hospitals, and religious spaces. IDF tries its best to cause minimal damage to the civilians. IDF has also aborted missions to save civilians. Morality in warfare is extremely difficult to define. The Israeli Defense Forces is the most moral army in the world is a controversial and a highly debated statement. Namaskar, Shalom, and welcome. My name is Ravital Moses, aka Moses in Israel, your favorite Indian Jew born and raised in India and now living in Israel. And my goal is to bridge India and Israel one video at a time. And today, let's see what Orly Weizmann, the Consul General of Israel to South India, has to say about Israel defending itself.
So Israel, there are no war crimes. Okay, this is something that has to be understood. Israel is fighting and has the right to fight for its security. And yes, we're very upset that that the world is not able to see beyond the manipulations of Hamas and is trying to and is therefore not putting the pressure in the right place, because if the pressure was put on Hamas, things would stop. Hamas laid down their arms, got out of Gaza, didn't threaten Israel, and let the hostages go. This would be over. It would be over.
First of all, shout out to South First and the host of South First to be able to have Orly Weizmann as a guest. I think it's very important to bring on diplomats to speak about what's happening in their respective countries. Let's talk about war crimes for a second. War crimes have not been made by Israel, but they have been made by Hamas on multiple levels. And also, I would like to say, Israel is not just fighting on one side, it is fighting on multiple fronts. If you don't know, I'm going to walk you through. Let's start with Hamas, which is in Gaza. Then we have Hezbollah, which is in Lebanon. Then we have Houthis from Yemen. Then we have the West Bank. And recently we had a war with the Iranian regime. Not to forget, we are also fighting a war on the digital front. Most diplomats and Israeli influencers, Jewish influencers, go through a lot of anti-Semitism and hate online. And the list goes on. There are proxies of Iran as well. We have been surrounded by multiple groups and it can get very messy. Let's talk about Israel's fundamental right to defend itself and its citizens against terrorism and attacks from a terrorist group. We in Israel live a very different life compared to people living outside of Israel, or I would say even outside of the Middle East. The Middle East geopolitical scenario is extremely volatile. Kuch bhi ho sakta hai, kabhi bhi ho sakta hai, and we have to be mentally prepared for it. But the rage that Israel has gotten and the hate that it has gotten for defending itself it just feels wrong. Let me walk you through why I said the IDF is the most moral army. First of all, you need to understand morality in general, as per the guidelines of the world. Everything takes a backseat during a war. Okay, there's no black and white. 99.99% is in the gray. So to be able to say IDF is a moral army, and I'll tell you why in just a few seconds, is because when Hamas attacks, Hamas is attacking from civilian space. It operates from schools, hospitals, and religious spaces. But let's talk about IDF for a second. I'm not sure ye aap tak pahuncha hai ki nahi, but IDF tries its best to cause minimal damage to the civilians. Keep in mind, the fight is with Hamas, not with the civilians of Gaza. But unfortunately, Hamas operates from and within the civilian space. They use their own people as a human shield. So whenever IDF attacks, and sometimes it is impossible to know kya hai, they try to be as precise with their targets, but nahi hota hai kabhi kabhi. Okay, there's no 100% accuracy. But what IDF does is, it sends advanced warnings before it strikes. They drop leaflets, they have phone calls, text messages, and roof knock tactics जो होते हैं. To be able to warn people that भाई तुम हटो, हम यहाँ पे अटैक करने वाले हैं. We don't get warnings from these terrorist groups, okay? This is just like हल्ला हो जाता है, and then Israel has created a protocol where Israel sends us a text message or a warning on the phone saying कि भाई in the next 2 minutes we are going to be attacked, please run to the bomb shelter. Israel अपने खुद के लोगों को भी मैसेज भेज रहा है और उनको भी मैसेज भेज रहा है, तो आप समझ सकते हो what the scene is like, okay? IDF has also aborted missions to save civilians. Sometimes they have to cancel operations just so that if they detect any civilians in that area, they just don't attack. And the third one is precision strikes. Itna sara attack hua in the past few years. We have been able to navigate and see locations, right? So precision comes with time and experience. Because we have had so much experience with being attacked and to be able to defend ourselves, तो प्रिसिजन बढ़ता रहेगा. बट एक बात याद रखिए, there will always be collateral damage. In fact, me and my family were a collateral damage. For those of you who don't know or are new to my channel, I was impacted by the Iranian missiles 2 months ago. It fell 50 meters away from where we were staying. I mean, I came over to my parents. Luckily, there was a safety room. तो safety room की वजह से हम बचे. We had a near-death experience. But what I'm trying to tell you is, war is messy. There are no guidelines. The famous phrase where it says, everything is fair in love and war. I've seen it, experienced it firsthand. Civilians always are a collateral damage, but you need to understand that we are defending, we are not on offense. When a terrorist group enters your land, enters your soil, that is by itself breaking morality. Uske upar taking our people hostage, kidnapping, doing very bad things to women and children, having body cams recording everything so that they can live stream this to the entire world. How is that not breaking morality? And how is that not war crime? So the fact that Orly Weitzman said that Israel is not doing any war crimes, and I completely stand by it, because I have been living in this country and only we know what we are going through. The rest of the world, both on East and the West, I don't know what the media is feeding you, but whatever it is not true. I'll be very honest with you, I feel extremely uncomfortable talking about wars and the political stance and stuff like that, because everything is in the gray. There's no like black and white, right? But as every day passes and every year passes, I feel like my opinions have been shaped and modified. The more time I spend here and the more news I consume, I feel like the news that you are getting fed is so different from what actually happens in the country. I don't know to what capacity, but I will try my best to give you my point of view on the war as somebody who is living in Israel and has been firsthand affected by the war. It is definitely tough for both sides, but keep in mind, Hamas was elected by their own people. Now, how is that our mistake? How is that IDF's fault? Why should we take responsibility for them? They're taking responsibility for its own civilians. That's me and people living in this country and the Jewish people. Itna yaad rakhiye, Israel is doing world a favor. और ये अभी नहीं किया. The future seems really scary. In the meantime, stay safe, watch the right content, and I'll see you next time.